Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with another video for EVE Echoes. In today's video, I wanted to sit down and talk about the new Clear Skies Nanocores that are coming in Concord Pass Season 7. Can you believe we're on Season 7 already? I remember this being first launched into the game and doing videos explaining how it would work and all that kind of thing, and here we are on the 7th one already. Now, this hasn't started yet. It will go live on Friday the 25th of February, so if you log into the game now and go, oh my goodness, where are all these cores? And it's like, oh, it's not here yet. That's why you need to wait until Friday. Now, before we go any further as well, it's worth noting, for better or for worse, that the Nanocore glow effect is back, and that has rather messed with my Typhoon here in the bull skin. I love this skin, but I didn't realize I had sort of a red glow on my Nanocore that actually doesn't look too bad, but I might go in and change that and just sort of make that like a nice pink or something that goes through all this, or just a plain white, goodness knows. Anyway, ultimately, we're going to have a look at what these nanocores do, these Clear Sky nanocores, what stats are on them, what ships they should be on. Now, I say should be on because at the time of me making this video, I cannot 100% confirm every single hull that is capable of fitting a Clear Skies nanocore. I have a list of ones that I know for sure they're on, and then that also allows me to extrapolate outwards. Like, for example, if the Caracal gets it, you can be pretty sort of sure that the Vexor, the Stabber, and the Omen should get it, although I haven't been able to 100% confirm that, and so on. There are some that I know definitely do, some I know definitely don't, and some that I can sort of wide speculate. So if I say that I think it's going to get it, and it turns out that no, it doesn't, please, accept my apologies. I'm running on limited information here. Same with if I say that no, a ship doesn't get it, and it does, well, congratulations. It's just, again, information wasn't available to me at the time of making this video. Anyway, if you do enjoy this video, let me know by hitting like on it. It's a big help to all of us gaming YouTubers, really helps with the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel for all things EVE, and if you want to go the extra mile to help support this channel and keep me doing what I'm doing, then you can head to Patreon, which is listed at the bottom of the screen here and in the description. Pledge to support there, get your name in the stars and all kinds of other things, and keep me making the content that I make. Anyway, with all that said and done then, let's talk about the Clear Skies nanocores. Now, first of all, how do you get this information? If you've got a ship and you want to check if it has a Clear Sky nanocore, go to the fitting page, tap on nanocores, and when the page loads up, if you've got the attributes thing here, you can just tap on that and it'll close it down, and then you can see a list of all the different nanocores available. And if we scroll all the way to the left, you should see a Clear Sky core. If you do not see a Clear Sky core, that means your ship, unfortunately, is not going to be getting one of them. But let's have a look at what they do. Well, actually, let's talk about the appearance first of all. I really like this. I've mentioned before that the Dawn skin is one of my favourites. I think that's just so pretty, that sort of icy sky blue to it, with that sort of glow effect lying underneath it all as well. It's a really pretty nanocore in my opinion. It is metallic, it does have a cool glow effect, so I'm looking forward to seeing what other people do with the sort of the ability to modify this and change the colours. I think it could be really exciting to see what you come up with, and I'd love to see some screenshots from you guys on my Discord. Anyway, let's have a look then at the Typhoon Clear Sky core. This is an offense core, top left here, offense. And this will give us 18% missile torpedo damage, 22.5% shield, or a 21% reduction to inertia modifier. Now, the fact that this is on the Typhoon suggests to me that this should also be on the other ships that have a 1 and a 2 also. We know for a fact as well this is on the Apocalypse Striker, so I can confirm at least the Apocalypse Striker and the Typhoon. If it's on the Apocalypse Striker, that means it should also be on the Tempest, the Maelstrom, and the... which one am I missing? The Tempest, Maelstrom, and the... Megatron Striker. It should be available for those 3 battleships as well, and if it's on the Typhoon and therefore the Typhoon 2, it should also be on things like the Armageddon and the Armageddon 2, the Dominix 2, and the you know what I'm getting at here, the whatever the Caldari one is. It's not the Raven, it's not the Rock. Yeah, my brain has completely fallen out of my ears at this point in time. I cannot confirm, though, with the 4 tanky ones. I haven't been able to check and see if the Maelstrom gets it. If the Maelstrom gets it, then I would assume then also the Abaddon, the Hyperion, and the Rock get it. But yeah, we'll go from there. Scorpion! There we are. The Scorpion is the Caldari 1 and 2, a battleship that apparently is very easy to forget. So we should have Scorpion Clear Sky Core as well if you are flying that ship. And if you are getting contact with me, I want to know how and why you fly it. It's a battleship I really want to cover. Anyway, so those for the battleships we know are going to get the Clear Sky Cores. I also know for a fact that the Caracal has one. I was looking at the Caracal 2 earlier. 100% the Caracal 2 gets the Clear Sky Core, which means we should also get it on the Stabber, the Vexor, and the Omen hulls. Anything that has the Navy issue and then the 2 Tech 10 should be available. I can't confirm on the Rupture, the Mala, the Thorax, and the Moa. I've not been able to confirm those 4 at this point in time, but I can confirm that both the Arbitrator and the Bellicose do not get this. So the Covert Ops battleships, Covert Ops cruisers do not get the Clear Sky Core. It is not an option for them this time round. Also, looking down at the faction frigates, I know that the Gamma, the Succubus, and the Drami L all get this. I would therefore assume that all of the faction frigates will get these. I can't confirm with faction battleships or faction cruisers, but I would assume that those will also have this same offense core available because, well, they always do, and people complain and whine if you don't get every single possible nanocore for every single one of the faction ships. I get it, I'm not sort of mocking there, I'm saying it has been a complaint every time that they haven't happened, so I'm pretty sure netties are going to make sure they do happen. So for this offense core, what you're looking at is an 18% increase to your main weapon damage, a 22.5% increase to the HP of whichever tank your ship, theoretically uses, and a 21% reduction to inertia modifier. What that means is that here, for example, on the Typhoon, that's 18% missile, 22.5% shield, or a 21% reduction to inertia. But if we were to have a look at something, for example, the Vexor, that's going to be 18% drone damage, 22.5% armor, 21% reduction to inertia. The Omen would be 18% lasers. I'm sure you can figure it out from here how that's all going to work. I can confirm as well on battle cruisers, I haven't mentioned those yet. Battle cruisers, the Tornado 100% gets a Clear Sky Core, however the Hurricane and the Cyclone do not. I have not seen one on the Hurricane, I have not seen one on the Cyclone, but I have seen one on the Tornado. That leads me to suggest that the Tornado, the Naga, the Talos, and the Oracle will all get a Clear Sky Core, but you will not get one on things like the Harbinger, or the Prophecy, the Myrmidon, and the Brutix, the Ferox, and the Drake, and as I said, the Hurricane and the Cyclone don't get them. I think I've covered pretty much every ship there that I do and don't know. As far as the offense cores go, I've not been able to confirm on destroyers either. I know that, well, I don't know anything about destroyers. We'll have to wait and see on that, and I'll talk more about destroyers in a moment. For secondary stats, you're looking at some really actually quite interesting stuff here. I've seen, obviously here you can see shield booster mount, shield booster capacitor need, missile torpedo damage, weapon warp speed, flight velocity, and missile torpedo damage there as well. I have seen afterburner be one of the ones here. You can get inertia modifier again. I swear afterburner is definitely on here. There's shield as another one that we can get. It's annoying that they don't just give you the full list as a nice easy way to check it. You do kind of have to go through here. I have seen Afterburner. I promise you Afterburner is one of the ones I've seen because I was talking about how cool that would be on the Succubus, but it's not going to come up here for the time being. So, well, yeah, there we go. There's the secondaries and a brief look at some of the ships that can go on. Now, another type of ship that obviously gets a lot of people asking questions are the Interceptors. These are naturally very popular currently. In EVE Echoes, people are flying Interceptors an awful lot. I'm expecting to see some very big nerfs of them in the April balance patch, but let's have a look here at the Condor Interceptor. I have also confirmed this with the Atron and the Slasher, therefore I have no reason to assume that the Executioner is going to be any different. I can't confirm with the Executioner, but I'd be astonished if it's the only one of the of the interceptors that doesn't get the Clear Sky core. Now, this is not the combat core, it's not the offense core, we have the disruption core, which of course is going to apply here, and based on its stats, I would also assume that we are going to see this on the interdictor destroyers, so the Thrasher, the Coercer, the Cormorant, and the Catalyst. The three options we have here are 21% Warp Disruptor optimal range, 21% Interdiction Sphere Launcher disruption field range, and a +2 Warp Scrambler Warp Jammer strength. Now, this is actually really quite cool. I like that +2 Warp Scrambler strength. It means that if you've got one, strength 4 Warp Scrambler, it's now a strength 6. If you've got two strength 4s, which would normally be 8, you're going to be getting 10. It's by the hull, not by the Scrambler itself. It's not like you can put on 3 Scramblers and get +6 from the bonus hit. It is just that +2. Still really nice, and the fact that this can actually go on a standard Condor is pretty cool. Like standard Condor or a Condor 2, you can put this on a Tech 2 ship if you wanted to, and have fun with it. Now, there have been some complaints already I've seen on the official Eve Echoes Discord, where people have said, well, hang on, why does it get a 21% Interdiction Sphere Launcher disruption field range? That's obviously only for things that have Interdiction Sphere launchers, which this doesn't. Now, ultimately, I kind of get where you're coming from. We've talked about this in regards to things like the miners, like the Venture and the Coveter and stuff like that. Why on earth does a Venture get a bonus to stripped mining, and why would a Coveter get a bonus to standard mining? Ultimately, what happens, and the way that NetEase develop these nanocores, is that they create a nanocore with the particular stat spread. They create one offense core, one of the disrupt cores, and then usually industrial cores as well, and then they just set what stats they can do, and then they apply those to different ships. Ultimately here, the disrupt core works the same, it's the exact same stats whether you're looking at it on the Condor or whether you're looking at it on a Thrasher. Ultimately, I still would like to see some cores for those destroyers that are a bit more interesting, but hey, something with damage, but at least, there's something going on for them. For secondary stats, you get flight velocity, stasis weather fire range, which is interesting, warp drive capacity need, warp speed, warp disruptor optimal range, and let's have a look. Afterburner capacitor need reduction, more of the interdiction sphere launcher disruption field range, stuff like this. So you can have a look through those and get an idea of the kind of things you can expect here for this. At least they are focusing on the interceptors actually being tackle ships, which I'm all for, because it means when those nerfs happen, these still have a very clear role that they are intended for use, and I'm good with that. I think that's a really nice way of doing things. So yeah, the Condor Clear Sky core obviously is going to be on the Slasher, the Atron, and the Executioner as well, and I theorize because we've got that Interdiction Sphere launcher, it's also going to be on the Thrasher, the Coercer, the Cormorant, and the Catalyst. Cannot 100% confirm, but make of that as you will. Now, in regards to industrial ships, you might think that I'm not particularly clued up on that, but here I can actually give some pretty solid answers, because I do have both a Mammoth and a Wreath too. I've used the Mammoth for moving stuff around in sort of our nullsec area, and the Wreath I do actually quite enjoy just filling it up with stuff and being a loot pinata, trying to jump through gate camps and proving how easy that is. It's something I like doing, okay? I know it's a bit weird, but hey, I do have a Wreath too, and I do have a Mammoth, and I can confirm that the Wreath does not get the Clear Sky core. Therefore, I'm assuming that the Tech 10 and their lower tech versions of the transports do not get the Clear Sky. However, the Mammoth does, and it gets the industry one here for hauling. Here we can see that the Mammoth gets an option between 18% normal cargo hold capacity, 18% special cargo hold capacity, and a 21% increase to flight velocity, which is actually quite nice. That's flight velocity, not inertia modifier this time around, just to help you move your ships a little bit faster. Interestingly enough, though, that could have been quite nice to have on the Wreath, and I really do wish that that did have one. Otherwise, for secondaries, you're looking at things like warp speed, power grid, cargo hold capacity, warp drive capacity need, inertia modifier, all kinds of stuff like that we can refresh and have a look through here. So I can confirm that the lower tier haulers, the Mammoth, and I think, is it the Cryos or the Nereus? It's the Cryos that's the smaller one, isn't it? The Cryos and the Tyra and stuff like that, those are going to have this core on it, this industrial core, whereas the Wreath, the Badger, the blockade runner ones, I can never remember all of them. Those do not look like they get the Clear Sky core. Unfortunately, I do not have the ability to check things like the Coveter, the Procurer, the Retriever, or the Venture. I would be shocked if they do not have one, because again, that's an entire playstyle, and people do tend to, to call out when those have not had cores in the past. So I'm pretty certain there is going to be a core for the Venture, the Retriever, the Procurer, and the Coveter. Maybe not all four. I imagine it'll be definitely for the Coveter and definitely for the Venture. The Retriever and the Procurer are kind of the grey area on this. I can't confirm or deny either way, but I imagine you're going to get things like, again, 18% laser. But look at what you've had in the past. Mining lasers, strip mining lasers, and possibly ore hold being the third one, and stuff like that, just to give you an idea of what to expect there for the industry cores. Again, unfortunately, I don't know about mining. I can only confirm in regards to the haulers. So, ultimately, there's your cores this time around. We have a whole list of different ships there that are going to be getting the Clear Sky core. We don't know what the cost of these is going to be yet. We know they're coming on the 25th in the Concord Season Pass 7, which I'm pretty excited for. There's some interesting stuff here. In regards to some other ships that I haven't mentioned, just because they didn't crop up, I know, for example, the Explorer frigates and the Stealth bombers, so like the Probe, the Heron, the Hound, and the Manticore and stuff like that. Those are not getting cores this time around. I'm kind of sad to see. I didn't manage to get one of the neon gas cores for the Hound, which made me very sad. I was looking forward to that, and we don't get anything for the Explorers this time around again either, so that's a little bit sad for me, but we'll see. As for the actual stats on these, they're pretty typical. I think what we're seeing now is a lot of these cores are very similar to each other, and the concept is that each Concord Pass, you're getting a new look on your core, but the stats are pretty close to each other. I did also see some people complaining that the Apocalypse Striker one wasn't as good as the Thermomagnetic 2 core, and ultimately I think that's the point as well, that was a bit of a strong core. They released the Thermomagnetic Storm, and some people didn't like how those bonuses worked, and I think they overcompensated with the Thermomagnetic Storm 2 on a lot of ships, and they've kind of toned it down a little bit other than that. Basically, it's an interesting core, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy these. I think visually they are spectacular. I really like the look of these, and I'm not sure what ship I'm going to be putting these on yet. I would have gone for the Hurricane, but alas, that is not one of the ones that is included in this particular Concord Pass. This particular Nanocore isn't on the Hurricane, so if it's on the Maelstrom, I guess that's probably what I'll go for Silent Rose. And here on Benzie, well, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe a destroyer one, maybe a faction frigate one. I think turning my Dramiel bright blue like this could be a fun way of doing things. We'll have to see. Anyway, folks, let me know in the comment section down below how you get on with these, what you think of these particular Clear Sky cores. I'm excited for them. I think they're pretty cool. They're nothing overly special, but, it's nice to have. And again, my apologies that I can't confirm regarding certain ships, and I can't deny, in certain ships and things like that as well. I just don't know. I wish I had more information that I could give you, but for now, at least that's a sneaky peek to give you an example of what's coming on Friday. Thanks for watching right the way to the end, folks. Happy sailing, and see you in New Eden.